Hi guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Penny.
And we are the Oyster Boys, and today we are going to be trying a Leffe clone from the Malt Miller.
We are. I found this one in the old closet, in the old beer cellar, back of the shelf, didn't I? So obviously, with everything that's been going on, it's been a while since we sort of brewed together. Well, we've been doing a few individual brews, and I found this at the back of the cellar and thought, you know what, let's do a bit of a like by like. So, strength, don't know. Ingredients, can't really remember off the top of my head. Obviously, I know it's a Leffe Malt Miller.
I will put the ingredients list up on the screen. I won't put the measurements there. If you want to know the measurements, just buy it from the Malt Miller because they're really good.
How it's made or how the process went, don't remember. I know it's about 12 months old, which with a Belgian beer is good. You want a bit of aging. So I know they age it for like 28 days or something like that. Not quite as much as us, but we've got the like for like, and you know, I remember it being good. And I remember being strong. It's strong. You know, I think it was at the stage when obviously we just started homebrewing, and it's the sort of
Was this one of your first solo brews? Was it? I think? Or did you do it with your dad?
No, I did one with my dad, which the bottom of the
the grain basket.
The grain basket fell out.
Yeah, if you've used like an all-in-one, you know, you lift out the grain basket. The bottom plate just dropped.
and the pump clogged. So obviously we've got new equipment now that stops that happening. So we had that, so I had to tip it into the bucket, tip it back. Oh man, it was an absolute nightmare. Anyway, and then I did this Leffe on my own. So
maybe it was your dad that ruined it.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well,
this was brewed pre-COVID.
Oh God, yeah.
So it's old.
It's old, yeah. Well, it must be longer than a year because, like you say, pre-COVID. So I think it was October 2019. So.
Well,
12 months aged.
Do you know any history about Leffe? What do you know?
So Leffe, I mean, 1240 was when they first started brewing beers. So traditionally it was just for the monks, as it always is.
Yeah.
And then they were getting the pilgrims coming on again with the plague. What they were a
bit like now, really.
Yeah, well, they were recommending it to drink beer instead of the local water that was going on, and people would visit. So basically, Leffe was created from that, and then obviously they started selling to towns and villages. 1740, the head brewer, what would you say, perfected maybe the Leffe recipe, and people enjoyed the beer that much they actually stopped going to church on a Sunday. You know, we've all been in that situation where we'd rather get a drink in the garden than in something else. So they haven't had to step in and say. And then, as with all these Belgian beers, Napoleon comes along in the French Revolution and they go, nope, we own all this now. And it just falls in disrepair.
Classic.
Ruins it for everyone. So, but 1929, the Abbey is reinstated.
Yep.
And they go, do you know what? To sort of become self-sufficient, let's start brewing the beer again. So 1952, they actually joined up with InBev.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously they make the Stella. So traditionally the Leffe was brewed
amongst every other beer in the world that InBev make, yeah.
So traditionally they used to obviously brew within the Abbey walls, but now it's actually made in Louvain, you say, where Stella is made. But it was actually considered one of the first sort of unique agreements at the time with InBev, because they Leffe Monastery, or Abbey, sorry, still gets royalties from the beer. So they're still able to be self-sufficient from the beer, although InBev are sort of taking the rights and they all make it, but they obviously sort of live off the royalties, so to speak. So, I mean, it's probably one of the most well-known Belgian Abbey ale that's out there, really, isn't it?
And I know on it, because this is a Leffe Blonde, do they do other Leffes?
Yeah, well,
available?
They do the Brun, don't they? And there's a massive range of Leffes. I think I've even seen a flavoured Leffe. I think I've seen a strawberry one. They do a very good non-alcoholic beer. A different subject, and some people are completely against it. Personally, I do think there's a market for non-alcoholic beers. I've had that Leffe and it's brewed. My dad drinks it for his sort of midday drink, and he goes, the bottles are perfect because they're 250ml. Because obviously we talked about a situation before, and he gives me the empty bottles and goes, these are great for you to fill up with your beer to give to me. I was like, oh, that's handy, isn't it?
Should we get these in the glass and see how they look? Yeah.
But that's pretty much the old history of the old Leffe. Well, my hands are that cold, I can't do my old spiddy tricks. And one thing I do remember of this Leffe is of the homebrew beer is it smelt very similar. Unfortunately, we haven't got the goblets because we're in a different place, aren't we? So
yeah, constantly moving house.
I've had Leffe on draft as well. I like Leffe. I really like that sort of candy sweetness that comes with the
So I'm assuming, well, I will have already put the recipe on the screen at this point, but was there candy sugar that you put in?
Yes, there
in
was.
The boil in this one?
First time I've ever used that, and the only time I've ever used candy sugar. It literally is like a clear sugar that you sort of add to the boil.
Like meth.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Very dirty brown meth. Okay, well, I mean, looking at the two, clarity...
They filter theirs.
Yeah. You don't own a huge filtration system. Colour-wise,
at all.
I don't think they're too
Not a million
far.
miles apart.
Not too far away.
Yours is clearer than mine, I can see. So, but you know, it's been transported as well. Well, they've both been. I've carried this in my backpack, but the head as well. Obviously, mine's dissipated straight away. But
yeah,
do you know what I mean? I'm not a professional brewer, but yeah, in colour-wise, like you say, it's not far off on the colour, but you know, it's not great.
I'm not going to rate it highly on looks, honestly. I'd probably give you a 5.5 out of 10.
I think you're being generous there, because for me it's probably about a 4.8.
Right.
Really, it looks like a beer I want to drink, but the head's died off, and you're comparing the two.
I think I am being too kind to you, but I've said it now though, it's come out right. I'm not going to change it, but let's, I'm looking forward to smelling it though.
Yes,
so
I remember the smell being very similar, so. But it smells like a Belgian beer.
Yeah.
I can smell the sweetness. Oh,
you know what?
It's the same.
That is.
It's the same.
It's the same, and it's great.
Yeah. Sweetness, that ale sort of a little bit of fruitiness
very
coming
distinct
through.
smell of like the Belgian Abbey ales, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that.
No hotness come through at all.
It's almost like a toffee kind of smell in the background, isn't it?
You're getting that the sugars through, aren't you? So I mean, there's a slightly bitterness, a bit of malt that comes through. You can tell it's an ale, the fruitiness from there.
I mean, it's so close on the smell.
Yeah.
I think it's a god tier smell, to be honest.
Well, are we comparing this as a smell as in general, or are we comparing it, or are we marking it on the?
I would say mark it in its own right.
Yes.
But you know, if it doesn't smell anything like the thing it's meant to smell like, you'd have a problem, wouldn't you?
No,
but I'd say that you know, in its own right and the way that it's so close to that, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, because it smells great.
Yeah, it does.
And it smells so close to that.
Wow.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Wow. I'd take that as if it's an 8 for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going that high. You know, it's no New England IPA sort of type of smell, but it does smell the same.
I'm not like a Belgian beer aficionado, right? You know that. I've not really had many of them. I only tried the first one at the start of this year, I think, when we were sat in a field in the freezing cold. But I love that smell. I really love that smell.
Okay.
Should we do the most important bit?
Yeah, go on. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really good.
It's strong.
Still sweetness. It's strong.
You can taste.
It's not hidden, is it? It's got that warmth, hasn't it?
It's almost like a barley wine, like you know, like
an imperial stout-esque on that back note.
It's when you breathe in and like after you've had a shot of something.
Yeah.
That's well, that's. Let me just try the actual.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Again, it's so similar.
There's a bit more sweetness that comes out of the actual Leffe. Now, whether that's because it's aged for 18 months and the yeast has literally eaten up the rest of that sweetness that's there. Obviously, mine's nowhere near as carbonated as theirs, but you know, in terms of flavour, it's apparently, I forgot to say, Malt Miller. Apparently, they get a lot of the ingredients actually from the brewery, directly from the brewery. They say on there, if you go onto the Malt Miller, it says ingredients are pulled from.
Maybe they could comment on it and let us know.
Please. So, but let's give it. If I was, my eyes were closed.
I think if I had too many of these, mate, my eyes would be closed.
I would just think that was a Belgian beer.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not Belgian, it's from Chester.
Yeah.
But
maybe Chester Cathedral should start using this beer and sell it.
Maybe talk to them there and see what goes on.
I would not. Yeah, I mean,
It's really. I mean, this one. It's a bit thicker in your mouth, isn't it? This.
Yeah.
It's a
there's
bit
definitely
more
some residual sugar
body
that's
in it.
left.
There's this one. I can't even talk already, but it's all of that.
Yeah, it's real warmth from the back.
That is really strong.
This is 6.6%. I think this turned out about 7.7.
How? What did you do?
I don't know. I can't even remember making it.
Wow.
So, but you can tell, can't you? It's a bit more of a.
Yeah, it's a
And
real,
why I decided to do it in 500ml bottles, I have no idea.
It does give you a real kick in the teeth when you drink
yeah.
it. But yeah, if this was in a smaller bottle, I think that would
maybe
probably
the
be better.
250 bottles that my dad keeps, maybe should have been put on that. So
I've got to say, because it's so strong, that's probably going to take away from the score on taste for me, because that's just too much. But it still tastes great.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think when I give my score, because I'm still going to give it a 7.9. Because it tastes fantastic, but if it didn't have that real big alcohol kick,
it's taken away a lot from that other flavour, isn't it? You can tell that it's the alcohol's flavour in this is overpowering it compared to that. But then if it didn't have it, God, it could almost be a mirror.
Yeah, but it does taste good though.
Yeah,
it does really taste good. But you've just somehow turbocharged it.
Mm. yeah, exactly. Yeah, because in terms of the bitterness, it's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just that. This has got the sweetness, this has got the alcohol warmth at the back of it. Oh, I've done that, I don't know. Maybe, I'd have to re-go over the recipe and have a look because I don't remember it. The final the gravity's being a bit out. Maybe there's too much candy going. I don't know.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
It's definitely making me giddy. Right, so you said 7.9.
Yes, I did, yeah.
So I think I have to agree with that. It's not quite 8, but it's a great beer and it's definitely a Belgian beer. I mean, you can get, I know this is a blonde, but it's, maybe it looks almost halfway between a blonde and a triple. I know that's down to the actual malt bill, but if someone still given me and said this is a Trappist beer from one, or an Abbey Ale style beer from somewhere, I would go, yeah, that's great. I'd have another one, that's for sure.
If you bought this in a bottle shop and it was in a section that said Belgians and had no label on it,
yeah.
you took it home and you drank it, you wouldn't be ringing them up complaining.
No, I wouldn't go, this is from Chester. No. So made by someone that doesn't.
This is from Chester, made by a guy on his second ever attempt at brewing beer on his own.
Exactly.
How much was this?
Well, for 23 litres, it was £19.
Wow.
And that was for 7. So I double checked, it's 7%. It was supposed to be on the website. So it is. I'm pretty sure mine came out at 7.7%, but it is supposed to be stronger than the actual Blonde Leffe, and it is a Blonde Leffe clone.
Yeah.
So and to be honest, I mean, how do I judge it? £19 for 20 litres is always good, and it's a strong beer, and it comes from the brewery, and you're getting the candy sugar, and I know obviously the hoppage is low,
but it's it's some nice cool ingredients, some good stuff.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool, isn't it?
But for someone that's doing it and they've never used extra candy sugars. I mean, you can make candy sugar at home, like invert sugar.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, there's some actually really good YouTube videos on it. I'll put a link to someone else's up there.
For £19 though, I'll probably just
buy it.
Yeah,
just buy it from them. Yeah.
I think that's really good.
I do as well, because these are 40-something p a bottle. Is that what we're for a big bottle?
Big boy.
I suspect if this was on draft, it would kill me.
You'd have the small goblet glass that you'd have it, but you'd have about 10. Jesus. I wouldn't like to think. Man, I think that's an 8.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to match that 8.5 for me as well.
That's really good price.
Yeah.
Really good price.
So where it's not going to do very well though, I think,
Sessionability.
is sessionability. So how many pints of this beer could I drink? I'm probably going to go for, because you wouldn't normally have this in the pack, you'd have it in this, and you might have a couple of these. I don't think I would have a couple of these.
No.
Because I've had this.
You've drank a lot more, you've done well. I need to catch up.
Yeah, and it's a strong beer.
I'm glad this was first of the day.
It's a sign of things to come.
Do you still want to do that Imperial Stout?
Now this, I'd probably give it a 1.5.
Oh really?
Pints.
Okay.
I don't think I could go any further than that, just because it just tastes so strong.
I think I might have done 4 of these. It wasn't the Liverpool Champions League night,
Okay.
when they won it. It wasn't that one. When I threw up all over the table, wasn't that one. I think I could have 4. The 4 for me. 4.
Okay.
I think I could have 8 bottles of that and steadily, slowly away, get through it, and I would be paralytic, but it would creep on me. It'd be one of those where you wouldn't know you were drunk, and then you stood up and you just fell over.
Yeah.
It'd be one of them, or or that you sort of like forget the night when you think you're fine, and then you go, "Do you remember the conversation?" You're like, no, I can't have been that drunk, was I?
When your partner says to you, "Oh, do you remember agreeing to do this?" And you're like, what?
You know when you got on a plane and you've had a few and you think you're fine, and then they open the door and you just like turn to jelly.
That's what this beer would do to you.
Yeah, exactly. You get drunk legs.
But I think that's pretty much it for this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's been good.
It's been a while since we've done one of these, so I'm just trying to remember how to wrap it up, so I'm going to give it a go. So
Don't forget the Oyster Score. You add it up. You do your maths.
Okay, yeah. Here's the Oyster Score for this beer. I hope you've all had a great time and enjoyed watching us.
I hope you're happy to have us back.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. If you're not, there's
actually,
a problem.
talking to each other, not via a virtual screen with my wood burner fan going crazy and the dog knocking the earphones out.
And if you have liked it, please smash like, hit subscribe, come back. We do videos a couple of times a week usually, depending on how much we can get out. But
but we're going to sort of focus a bit more on homebrew clone styles, testing people's different kits, still doing our beer reviews, maybe a couple of kit reviews, that because we've invested a lot over this sort of break we've had, haven't we? Some kits to sort of share with you guys. So it's exciting.
Yeah, we'll pick those up. But for now, Oyster's out.
Yeah.